All right. Hello, everyone. Um, Welcome to the UX Talk Season 2. I hope you all are doing good and are safe. My name is Priyanka, and I am a UX researcher and trainer. So, before we begin with our talk today, I would like to introduce Mr. Tushar Deshmukh. So, UX Expert is one of the top 10 user experience service provider companies in India. And Mr. Tushar Deshmukh is the founder and CEO of UX Expert. He is also the director of UX UI Training Lab, which provides professional training in human computer interaction, usability, user psychology, user research, prototyping tools, front end development, and Tushar is working towards many more courses related to UX to be launched soon. Through this platform, he is not only training people but also provides jobs as well as entrepreneurship opportunities to his students. He is a visiting professor at Symbiosis Institute of Design and has given speeches at various other conferences. He has been working in this field for more than 20 years now. He works as a UX consultant for various other companies. Thank you, Tushar, for creating such an amazing platform on behalf of all the UXers.
Thanks.
And today we have Indraneel Paul, a user experience consultant who has been practicing his skill set of user experience for the last 15 years. Currently, he is working with Ernst and Young as a manager in delightful and useful design solutions across various domains and platforms. The design thinking process is one of the key areas where he is most interested as this process helps to see unseen and innovate the possibility beyond any limitations. Indraneel is also an official Figma community advocate for Pune, where he is involved in organizing many meetups to help grow the knowledge and network of UXers. Today, he is going to talk to us about customer journey mapping. Welcome, Indraneel.
Well, thank you so much, Priyanka, and thank you, Tushar, for having me here. I'm looking forward to talk about the customer journey with the participants and all of you. Thank you so much. Very good evening.
Good
Thanks,
evening.
Priyanka.
Yeah.
Yes, so we can start today. So before we start on core topic, just I will take 2 minutes to for new participants what is UX Talks is all about. So this is a platform where we use to spread awareness about UX design and lot of other things. Because there are always some misconception and people follow some wrong things. We created last year. So already I have a season one, almost 20 or two speakers we already have. And then after some pause, we have started this season two. And I'm hoping the speaker like Ranil, they will come forward and we will use this platform to create awareness about UX design concepts because simple phrase sometimes people get confused, and so this is the platform we will use to propagate the UX knowledge itself. So I was saying thanks, Priyanka, for introduction, and I just now hand over to Indranil to start today's session. So stage is yours.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Tushar. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Very good evening to all of you. I think we are kind of we know what is UX and why we are practicing user experience in this industry. And I hope you all of have kind of basic knowledge and also a very extensive knowledge as well. But I'm not talking about the new thing. It's about the customer journey. But there are a couple of ways to look at this customer journey. Okay, so customer journey falls into the entire customer experience practice. So I think you all of have heard about the customer experience. So quick chat. Okay, so if you have some idea about the customer experience, what customer experience is, and what kind of purpose is serving in the industry for this this customer experience practice. So if you can, quickly chat, or quickly, put some thoughts over in the chat section with 1 or 2 line of your understanding. So probably we can go ahead with that, and then we can, kind of, start the journey here today. Anything about customer experience before going into the customer journey? I just wanted to, I just wanted to understand, like, what is the thinking we have around the customer experience. Anyone to speak about that customer experience, CX? I guess, we stood. I think, yeah, delivering a great experience, customer experience. Perception of their experience, understanding the psychology of customer, their behavior. Yeah, please keep on going on. Delivering a great customer experience is hugely important for any business. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we got the right understanding, like the entire end-to-end customer experience. This is not limited to the user experience or the digital platform we are trying to create here. It is the experience where a customer is actually experiencing a brand or a service. It can be omni-channel as well. Yeah, it is not related to only digital platform, only digital product or services. It can be also omni-channel. Take it as example, the banking system. Okay, so if someone wants to create open an bank account, so that opening a bank account involves a lot of omni-channel services. A person can open the bank account through the bank visiting the bank physical bank, and there can be mix of omni-channels and digital platforms touch points as well. So the entire end-to-end process is the customer experience, and inside that customer experience, that particular customer has a typical or particular customer journey. Like the customer has to touch few touch points to create that bank account. So we are talking about the customer journey here today, but it is actually lying down inside the bubble of the entire customer experience. Yeah, what I know about it, it is the entire customer journey and the experience from when they see the product and buy it, and also after buying it. Yeah, absolutely. Behave differently as per domain. Yeah, okay. Now let me just share one slide over here. I have kind of prepared for this call today. Before going into slides, so do you have any questions so far around the customer experience? See, guys, the more we can interact in this call, the session can be more interactive and we can learn from each other. Or maybe we can be aware of few certain things from each other. I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
I kind of had a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like I'm just learning about UX now, and I'm a developer right now. So I'm trying to understand the customer. Like I'm trying to make my understanding of customer journey clear. So is it like when the customer, like suppose I, like you said, of opening an account, right? From then, first thing is I would be researching about it, like which bank I should open in. Okay.
Correct.
So there it starts. The first moment I suppose I check for Kotak, SBI, all the various banks,
Correct.
HDFC. From there, this journey, like the customer experience starts until the after we open a bank account, the after services that they provide.
Correct. Absolutely. So you rightly said that the moment of the
Yeah,
inception idea in your head, the
right,
moment you thought about opening an account,
right.
in that moment the customer journey has started. Okay,
Okay,
it can be omni-channel, can be through only digital platform, or the mix of platforms like visiting the physical branch, talking to the actual person, or maybe talking to a bot, chat bot. So there can be many touch points for to support this entire customer journey. Rightly said. Thank you so much.
yes, sir. So in this, even like the word of mouth, like if I talk to someone, even the
Correct.
word of mouth or
Yeah.
what that customer does for you, even that is included in the customer journey for the company.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that comes into the customer journey. I mean, there is a process. I will come to that point. Okay, we call it as advocacy, customer advocacy. So
Right,
once you see, Indranil Paul has opened a bank account with ICICI Bank or Kotak Mahindra or anywhere, right?
right,
And Indranil Paul has got some service and very amazing service and experiences with his ICICI Bank or Kotak Bank or HDFC. Okay, so any bank, XYZ Bank.
right,
Now Indranil Paul is very much pleased, and also Indranil is actually spreading the word, and also he is trying to onboard his family member or probably a person or friend or father or anyone, okay,
right,
to
right,
to be a customer, to be a kind of esteemed customer of that particular product or the company or brand, right?
right,
That
right,
comes under the customer journey, and also we call it as advocacy.
right,
Once you get the good experience, you will become the advocate of that particular brand,
right,
like
right,
the customer feedback, the custom feedback about the product, or
right,
feedback about the platform we provide in the many retail channels, like Flipkart or Amazon or anywhere. I mean, Zomato, Swiggy, right? I'm taking the Indian examples here
yeah,
because we are very much strong. India is a kind of strong country and developing country, where the digital platforms are at its high point. Okay, so probably it's the best country where we have the strong delivery chain, strong service chain, and strong digital platforms. Okay, to cater the entire customers, like in 120 crores customers. So we are catering to the digital platform currently. So we have a good example to for placing to place this in this kind of talks. Okay, so when you bought a kind of product from Amazon or Flipkart, you like the product, you like the service of the Flipkart, like how they have given you the timely feedbacks on your product arrival, or
right,
maybe the information about your pin code doesn't have the service, or that particular retailer doesn't deliver to your pin code, or maybe the other uh, retailer can serve you on that pin code. So those kind of proactive information to you, that creates a kind of customer experience. It is
right,
not only limited to the digital platform, or the we are trying to create a mobile application or watch application or website or portal. It is the entire customer experience, the whole orchestration. The entire orchestration is creating the customer experience. Inside that, we are also creating the customer journey to understand the customer better, and to gauge the customer's mind map, how their mental model is working, right? So because of that, we are creating this customer journey to understand better how we can serve better the customer, and they can get benefit from our service or the brand, right? Okay, so thank you so much for pulling up this question. Thank you
thank you.
so much. Anyone else? Okay, if there is no question, so probably we can move to the presentation. That's a pretty simple presentation I have put together. Uh, See, what is customer experience? Probably we have already discussed. Okay, so you can read through this slide. I am not going to read line by line, but it is actually, the perception of your. I mean, I have seen one chat from someone, like the perception of the customer, like how that brand is treating that customer. So this perception affect their behaviors and build memories and feelings to drive their loyalty. When we say loyalty, that loyalty actually, convert will the brand can convert that loyalty into advocacy through the customer experience. Okay, so how we are going to create that kind of amazing customer experience? By knowing the customer. How we are going to know the customer? By the research, user interview, user research. Okay, so once I get the user good amount of research insights, then only we can create that kind of user base, that then we can create then we know the user behavior, user mental model, and looking at that kind of mental model and the behavior, we can also create and we can nudge the behavior pattern, and then we can create the customer journey. I'll move to the next slide where we are going to um, we'll discuss the what it is. And I think we have discussed already what it is, but why do you need one? Why do you need the customer journey? So anyone from the group, why do we need to create a customer journey? I have listed 4 points over here. 4 points which came into my mind right now. See, that's we can we can shift the brand's mentality, the brand's vision from inside out to outside in. Meaning, what is the meaning of inside out to outside in? Anyone?
Hey, Indra.
Yeah. Hi. Hello.
Hello. How are you? Thanks for this great session. What I understand with the inside out to outside in is that when we say inside out, whenever we are doing a discussion, a brainstorming is being done. Design is a multidisciplinary activity where we do lots of brainstorming. When we are brainstorming and thinking about that, how user or customer will be thinking and saying that, okay, a customer will be doing this, customer will be thinking like that. That means we are making perception ourselves. That means it is inside out. Now we want outside in. That means go outside, research, interact with the customer and the user and bring those ideas inside. That is outside in.
Correct. Absolutely. So basically what we have moved from last 10 years, okay, so we have seen a kind of very much strong shift for the company's vision, which is inside out to outside in. When we say outside in, so we are taking the feedbacks, we are researching the user, and then we are taking those insights and research into our user-centric design platform, and we are creating the solution for and in and around that user. So basically it is, we are taking the foreign experience and we are building the internal system. It is not that some developers or some business stakeholders or the IT stakeholders created some idea and they are just building that. It is very much like we are taking the insights and knowledge from the outside, from the user, from the end user, and we are also talking to the users or maybe the persons or the stakeholders who are neutral for this product, and we are taking those insights for building up our solutions. So this is where we are calling it as inside out to outside in. Now, assigning ownership of key touch points to internal departments, that's a very important thing when we are discussing why we need a customer journey to be created. Okay, so what does it mean, assigning ownership of key touch points to internal departments? Can you put some light on that? So anyone has any kind of idea on that? Okay, yeah. someone is trying to say something.
Yeah. So assigning ownership of key touch point to internal departments. As I mentioned that design is an interdisciplinary activity where each
Correct.
and every person, be it
Correct.
from marketing, sales, management, has to be there involved in all the activity.
Correct.
Now,
Correct.
yes. So being a designer, what we have to do is we have to create a culture, design culture, where each and
Sure.
every person, be it from sales, marketing, or any other domain, should understand the design. Of course, they cannot participate as generally designer do, because designer know the process. Design is a process oriented activity. They might not know the process, but they should understand and they should participate in each and every steps. So that is why some ownership of the key touch points should be delegated to the internal team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Rightly said. I mean, see, I just wanted to top it up with some other kind of experience I have. So assigning ownership of key touchpoints to internal departments, that's a kind of right judgment you have given. Okay, the right insight. It's a multidisciplinary action, multidisciplinary activity. Now, you said that design. I mean, someone does not need to know how design should work and how design is done. So currently, I'm working in Ernst & Young (EY). So we have a group called Customer Experience. I'm working on that group only, and we don't have any developer. We don't have any kind of project manager. We don't have any program manager. So we only have user experience consultant and business analyst. And the business analyst from the various domain, like someone is from retail, someone is from TMT, someone is from CPG, insurance, lending, okay, smart city kind of IoT SMEs, oil and gas SMEs, and some and we have also very good two talented people over in my group, who are from marketing and branding, okay, apart from the user experience team. So user experience consulting team. So we do not have that visual designer team as well. So we don't need visual designer team. So what we do is we create the strategy that business analyst team is actually also taking 100% effort and 100% ownership for creating the entire end-to-end customer journey. See, the customer experience has a full length of creating the customer experience. Inside that, there is a section, or there is a room for user experience where we are creating the experience design. But in a whole, it is a complete customer experience session, and everyone from the business analyst point of view, on the marketing and the product marketing and research team, market research team, we come together and we create the entire customer experience. If we don't have the market researcher with us, how can we know what is the market for particular that kind of product, or what is the market for the user group we are targeting? What is the demography of that user group? Are those user groups are above 60% above of senior citizen, or the young customer, or the young citizen? How many are dependent? How many are independent customer? So that kind of data we need for creating the end-to-end amazing, delightful, or maybe useful or equitable customer experience and customer journey. So for that, we need specific teams to handle specific area of the expertise. Like assigning ownership of key touch points, like when we say user research, then user research and market research, definitely user experience team and a business analyst team will do the user research together. Market research team will do the market research along with the user experience, because market is not only the documentation, it's not only the jargons of the business, it is also, there is a saying in Hindi, jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai. So there is also you need user experience consultant there as well. Okay, so moving to the next point, which is target specific customer. So we have already discussed that target specific customer. If we have to cater and create a tailored kind of service or tailored product, then definitely we have to narrow down to a target specific customer section. Okay, now taking an example like Snapchat or maybe Instagram or maybe some dating site or something. Okay, if we have to create, then definitely there is a target specific customer who are using Instagram daily in their daily life, target customer for Snapchat, target customer for TikTok, target customer for uh, any dating site, or maybe target customer for Big Basket or DMart or maybe Zomato, people who has the privilege of spending some money on food delivery. They are only going to order the food. Or maybe the person who has the uh, who has the taste of testing the various foods from various region, they are going to patronize that kind of channel. So basically what we need to do is we need to create a target specific customer sections, customer product. Okay, the product which are serving a target customer. So we need to understand who are my target customer is for creating this customer journey. Because if you are targeting the entire 100% customers, entire 100% the population, then definitely you are not going to cater anyone, because your product is not uh, serving the right purpose. So we have to understand the purpose. We have to bridge the demand by our solution. Okay, break down silos to create one shared organization wide vision. I think you have covered in your earlier insight that break down silos to create one shared organization wide vision. If you create one specific customer journey or specific customer type journey, that can give you a kind of a bible of a feeling of bible of your product or product roadmap or product cycle or the user mind map. Wherever you are going out of track, you can refer the customer journey, you can refer the personas, you can refer the entire roadmap, and you will be on track again. So it is also serving a, a shared organizational vision. You are not going out of track, you are always on track by that, looking at that customer journey mapping. So how specifically your customer is having the journey for your service or the product. So far on this slide, anyone has any kind of question? Is I think we have good population over here right now. So if someone has some kind of question, please go ahead and ask me. If I have the answer, definitely I will. Otherwise, I'll get back to you with the answer.
There are some answers already on the chat.
It's a talk. It's a discussion kind of talk. We are not here to give you some kind of workshop on the customer journey. I would like to understand. I would like to know something from your side as well, to enrich and to gather some knowledge for myself as well.
Please feel free to answer. You can use chat box for answer.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So moving into next slide. Types of customer journey. Okay. So I have actually listed down few customer journeys over here. So most importantly, we have three kind of customer journey. We can see three kind of customer journey, like current state mapping, future state mapping, and day in the life mapping. Okay. So anyone has any kind of idea about what is current state mapping?
I'm not sure, but maybe how the customer experience is right now. like how the customer is coming in and using the product and what is the feedback right now, so
Yeah,
that we can plan and build on it for later,
correct.
something of that sort, maybe.
Yeah, Karan, absolutely. So before giving some kind of recommendation, we need to know where the product or the brand is actually actually right now. Okay,
Hello.
we have to decide the point we are in currently, and basis on that we need to decide the future point. Okay, the recommendation, by our recommendation the future point should be reached, right? So this is where we are, understanding the current state of that particular brand or the service by understanding the current customer journey, how customer is behaving or interacting with your product or service right now. Okay, have you seen, I mean, how many of you are using Dunzo this in this pandemic situation? Dunzo or any application which are serving you the retail products or the food products or any products which are used daily life, in daily life, like essential products. Okay, I have seen Dunzo, and they have continuously changing, modifying their customer journeys continuously. Like, they have included some proactive information after you ordered the product, after you ordered something in the Dunzo. So that is where it is taking few minutes, like 10-15 minutes, to gather all your ordered product by that wallet, right? During that time they are also giving you some information, some useful information about your products, like, I am at the gate of your of the I'm in front of the shop. I'm getting together your products. So those kind of information always popping up in the screens. And also they are they have created a kind of, very useful and pleasing animation on this animation on the page, where your when they're getting together your products for delivery. So that kind of, engagement they have created. Earlier it was not there. Okay, so they don't want to drop off, they don't want their user to drop off from that application during the entire cycle. Like, that's the day in the life mapping. Okay, how a particular user is using that Dunzo app in that moment when they are trying to order something. That is the moment of truth, when the user is getting service from that application. So they wear some kind of, mapping, but they continuously innovate the map, a process of innovation to create a better mapping, better customer journey mapping. And they are actually narrowing it down and drilling it down towards a day in the life mapping, like a very short moment user customer journey. So basically, the for Dunzo app, the customer journey stays for only 15 to 20 minutes in that application. So that 15 to 20 minutes is the moment of truth of that Dunzo customer journey map. So what they have done is they have started the entire experience, they have narrowing it down to the future state, and they are also creating the day in the life mapping, where they are taking that 15-20 minutes 20 minutes as their window of creating the better experience. Okay, so this type of, customer journey we can create, like, that was a 10-15 minutes of customer journey. For Flipkart, for Amazon, it was like 2-3 days of customer journey mapping, 2-3 days of continuous journey mapping, like how we are engaging our customer, Amazon engaging their customer by providing the proactive information about their orders, or Flipkart. Okay, so that is actually creating an entire end-to-end customer experience. Not only the Amazon mobile application, it is the entire brand is trying to create the customer experience. So that is also included into the customer journey mapping. Okay, anyone has any question or anything, just let me know. I'm eager to understand or eager to learn from your side as well.
Sir?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so this is Prachi here. I had one doubt that in customer journey mapping, we mentioned the touch points there are physical touch points, there are word of mouth, there are virtual touch points. I can understand, but also there are situations when you observe something in that situation. So whenever that observing thing is there, how is that being defined as a touch point in the journey?
See, observation is like, everything comes under the awareness, right, Prachi?
Yeah.
So you are getting the awareness of that particular service or the product.
Yeah.
So you have observed someone is wearing an iWatch, right?
Yeah.
Someone is wearing an iWatch physical watch, and that watch is getting the your WhatsApp notification, Instagram notification, LinkedIn notification, or you can also take the calls from there. You can take a photo from there. So looking at that kind of product experience, you are also getting the awareness of how iWatch can be used, right?
Yeah.
So that is also creating an awareness for your purpose.
Yeah.
So when also, you are looking at this some other company's watch, so, and looking at the experience of some other brand some other watch from some different brand, you are actually trying to compare those brands and the features of those watch, and you are aware, getting the awareness of that product level, that product area, like how a wearable and where a wearable product can create your experience, seamless experience, from to go a hands-free kind of experience, like you are not using the mobile but still you are getting some experience from the mobile connectivity, right?
Yes,
so that is the kind of awareness you are also getting. So that is also included in the customer journey. So that comes under the awareness, Prachi. So you're getting the awareness of that particular service or the product.
Yeah. And sir, one more. So I'll give you a situation. So according to situation, if we talk, so if a person is fallen down or due to heart attack or a disease, and then other person is observing, so the other person is also a part of that journey, customer journey. So then when he's
observing, I didn't get that. Can you just repeat once again? Someone is getting heart attack and someone is observing that, right?
Yeah. So if I am a close member of that person, I am observing that he's getting a heart attack, and then I'm going towards it. So first stage is observing, and the second is going towards them to help. So how would that observation be written in terms of touch point in my mapping? Like that I was saying.
Your mapping, see, that's awareness. Okay. So what kind of symptoms? What kind? Sorry.
This also goes under awareness.
Yes, but why? Because certain symptoms has resulted that heart attack, right?
Yeah.
Certain symptoms, like that person suddenly that person got some kind of head trip, right? Or maybe some breathing shortness, or maybe some weakness, or maybe some sort of symptom. So if you observe that kind of symptoms, that is going to be resulted as a heart attack or something like that, right? So that's the awareness. So you are also getting the awareness, like if this symptoms happens, definitely it is going to be a heart attack, or maybe a mild attack, or some sort of health related problem. Okay, once you get the awareness, you will start the search and research, right? More research on that symptoms, or more research on the heart attack. See, once you get these symptoms, you will be confirmed that this is going to be heart attack. Then your complete vision is going to shift to the heart attack. Okay, now you will start researching on the heart attacks. Okay, and now you will start the journey on the heart attacks only.
Okay.
Right. So does that answer the question, Prachi?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Anyone has any other question, please? Or maybe we can go to the next slide. I have a couple of slides more to the slides. Okay. Anything future state mapping, day in the life mapping, I have already discussed that. So basically day in the life mapping, we are taking a time and also we are drilling down to the exact moment of truth, and we are getting into the exactly user behavior on that particular time to create a customer journey on that for that particular time of those kind of user groups. Okay, so see, basically in the user experience design community and the industry, we always kind of say people like we also create customer journey, we work on the customer journey. But if you work in the customer journey, if you want to work in a solid foolproof customer journey to create a delightful experience for that product or service, definitely you have to go with the full-blown customer journey creation. So before the customer journey creation, you have to also create the customer persona. I mean, the persona group, like customer journey, the activity on the platform can be same, but the entire customer journey, entire customer experience can be differ from your age group, demographic, difference in demography of your user group, right? Someone, you have a complete digital platform to onboard your customer on the banking platform, but a person who is above 50 or 52, that person is always going to prefer to visit the physical branch because they don't have enough trust factor on the digital platform, right? Though you have the digital platform for complete onboarding, but they don't prefer that channel to be onboard themselves on the banking platform. So they prefer talking to a actual person, actual human being. That human being will share some awareness of that banking platform or banking product, and then they will get some awareness, they will build their trust on that particular product or brand, and then they will onboard themselves in the system. So your customer journey and the customer experience mapping can be same and across the entire user group, but it can differ from the user age group, user demography. So if we have to create a bank, any product onboarding system, okay, or suppose like life insurance or insurance kind of product, it can differ by geography as well. Like how India does the insurance cannot be the same which US does, right? Or maybe the Africa does. But the best practice would be same, like compliance would be same, security would be same in the customer journey. I mean, the security compliance or legal compliance of the insurance or the banking, but it can be different from country to country, geography to geography. But best practice is always there. Okay. Now, key elements of the customer journey. So here we are, going to discuss about what kind of elements we are going to include in the customer journey. So one is customer persona, phase of the purchase journey, touch points, customer thoughts and actions, pain points, what's stopping our customers, like any pain points are there. I mean, how might we remove that pain points by creating a very good seamless customer journey? Okay, the customer emotional journey, like Prachi, you said that I saw someone is getting heart attack or someone is getting some kind of symptom. So in that moment, as a person, you have some emotions, like or probably you have started feeling the empathy for that particular person, or maybe feeling the sympathy for that particular person. So the customer emotional journey is very important for creating a very useful customer journey. So human beings are emotion driven animal. I mean, living thing in world. So we have emotion much more than other animals. So we always drive our decisions or any decision making capability is actually also based on our emotional capability, like how strong we are emotionally or how weak we are emotionally. So that also define our decision making character. So if we are not satisfied looking at the UI of banking platform, or it gives me a kind of very rudimentary banking UI, and it gives me a kind of idea of this is a phishing kind of website. I am scared, I'm terrified, I'm not going to onboard myself or not going to provide my email ID and mobile number, right? So that is why your customer's emotional journey is very important to take care in the customer journey mapping. Okay, so I think we all know what is customer persona. It's a kind of fictional idea, or maybe if you have talked about your talk to your actual end user or business stakeholder, or maybe any technical stakeholder. So there is always not needed that end user, meaning the user who is living in the as a civilian or citizen. That will be your user. It can be enterprise application which you are building. Your business stakeholders or technical stakeholders or employee of your company can be also your user, right? So basically we can talk to them, we can interview them, we can discuss with them about their problem statement or the solution they are looking towards. Basis on that, we can create some fictional persona, or maybe we can also give them a kind of name for persona. And to to create the customer journey, we can consider those persona, like how might Prachi would do when Prachi is seeing a person is getting heart attack. So what will be the Prachi's customer journey map to get a proper fasted treatment during a person's heart attack, right, Prachi? So that was your question probably. How you will create a customer journey map to get the fasted for that particular person who is getting the symptom of that heart attack.
Yeah.
Okay, so Prachi would be the persona for that customer journey. So Prachi is also a living soul and also can be a fictional soul as well, right? Now, phases of the purchase journey. So here we have mentioned is the phases of the purchase journey. Purchase is the kind of term where we are purchasing something. It can also like getting a right getting ready the right type of medicine or right type of equipments for giving the first aid treatment to that heart attack patient. So purchase is the ultimate peak point where the customer and that brand is meeting the business and the user goal, right? So that is the kind of double diamond kind of theory. So the customer and business is meeting the same vision there, the purchase inside on the purchase phase. Now touch points. So touch points is basically nothing but the various touch points level, like a person like Airtel or any airtime provider, like AT&T or Vodafone or anyone. So how AT&T or Airtel is touching your daily life. Okay, so how Airtel is serving you in your daily life. Like I have a broadband connection from Airtel. I have a mobile subscription, and in that mobile subscription, I have included my family members as well. So I am serving my family members through Airtel Airtime, and also from the Airtel, I am also having the broadband connection, which is helping me to provide this talk, to work on my daily life. Like I go to office every day, not go to office, I mean I work for office every day through that Airtel broadband. So Airtel broadband, the product is the kind of touch point to create my entire seamless daily life experience, right? So can be TV ads, like how Airtel got into my life. I saw a TV ad, a very emotional TV ad from Airtel in the television, or maybe I have seen some web banner in the Facebook or somewhere else, okay, or media channel, or I have seen in LinkedIn or somewhere. So wherever the brand is, exposing themselves to the user, that can be the touch points for that particular brand. Okay. Now, customer thoughts and actions, like every stages, customer has their own thoughts and actions for that particular journey. Like whether is it okay to buy that product or not? Is this okay? The review is out of 11 review, 8 reviews are okay. I mean, 8 reviews are like almost 5-star or 4-star. 3 reviews are not good. Should I go with the 3 reviews or should I go with the 8 reviews? So there is a dilemma in the action, dilemma in the thoughts. Okay, we would also consider that kind of thought in our customer journey mapping. Like wherever is the thought is like confusion or dilemma of taking the decision or going ahead to the next phase, definitely we need to work on that phase. Otherwise, customer would fall out from that particular journey map. The purchase map, the purchase task flow, right? So customer thoughts, pain points we have discussed, like I have added something into Amazon, but when I have visited that Amazon next time, I am not seeing that product in my cart. Why? Because Amazon is not able to collect my IP address, or basis my IP address or basis my browser login. My Amazon doesn't apply my login session during my browsing of that product. So can be a pinpoint, right? So I have to go through with the again search process, and then again I have to find that product. Again I have to add search the best suitable size, and then I have to add that into cart. So can be a pain point, or can be a different example. I mean, you can come up with the different example as well. Customer emotional journey we have talked about. Okay, so anything else you want to add here? Do you want to add something in the customer journey as elements, key elements, or do you have any question? Please let me know. I am here for another 60 seconds or 1 minute. I mean, 1.5 minute on this slide. So I would love to answer your question if you have something.
Hello, Vikas here. Do I ask one question?
Vikas. Hi, yeah. Vikas, please.
Yeah, first thing is thank you for this nice explanation and all. I want to ask one question. For example, I'm working on a food app, and I want to deliver to some customers. So one customer in a quarantine area or containment zone area. Okay, so at that time he unable to disclose those things because he want the food. Maybe he feel if I explain those things that I never get the delivery from the particular service. So how we catch that situation, because there is a risk from the food app employee to go that area, and so because the COVID is there, but user required the food. So this is the situation. So
I got your point. I'm going through with the same problem right now with Flipkart, H&M, everywhere, because apart from essential, apart from food, you also need to wear some t-shirt right at home.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to also wear some, Bermudas or something like that. I mean, see, apart from food, there is also some other definitions of essential, like, underwear. I mean, many things, right? So if you have search those kind of stuff in Flipkart right now, or Amazon, or anything which is available with us as a retail chain, retail platform, whenever I'm trying to put my pin code as 411057, they are saying that no retailer is serving in that area. Okay.
Yeah,
now
that is the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. So that problem you cannot suppress that kind of problem, because it's a natural crisis right now. It's a huge crisis. It's a national crisis, right?
Yeah.
So I think food delivery, they are not restricting themselves for delivering the food for any kind of area, but apart from any essential, like this t-shirts and all can be, I mean, clothes can be essential as well. People need clothes to wear, right? So we are not buying, we haven't bought any kind of clothes for last 1.5 years, because we haven't visited any shopping mall. We have done few things online, we have bought something, but those are not enough to survive for another 6 months or maybe another 1 year, if it is going to sustain sustain the same situation in Pune or in Maharashtra, right? So that is the one customer journey you cannot uh, you know overcome. I mean, the problem you cannot overcome, because that's the this is kind of a rare example. Food delivery, they are not restricting themselves, but other things are restricting themselves from delivering into some sort of pin codes and all. Okay, but that cannot be your key elements of your customer journey. You looking at the pandemic situation, you can tackle the pandemic situation, like how you must have seen that people are started giving the information like our wallet are completely safe, they are tested negative, or just now they have washed their hand, sanitized their hand, or maybe our food delivery partner channels, like any merchant, they are 100%, we have made sure that they are 100% safe and secure, and they are also preparing the food securely. uh, those kind of information is also creating the customer experience. Otherwise, looking at the situation in Maharashtra and in India, people will not buy any food from any food channels, right? So they are also kind of trying to keep those security measures so that people can trust them and people can build the trust factor for their platforms. So in the customer journey, you can also include some kind of experience where you are also creating the trust factor for the product, like the awareness. Like these are the things comes under the awareness, that and also research. Indranil has researched the Zomato platform, and I have and seen that they have a specific area for the COVID measures. Okay, and in that COVID measures, they have mentioned that all the food partners are completely secure, and the cooks are wallets are always kind of getting regular treatment or regular test or something like that. So they have a different section for COVID section, COVID security measures, and I have seen that. I made myself assured that research that Zomato is safe. Now I can order the food. Now my next phase, next customer journey would start from there. So you can add those kind of measures in this situation into your customer journey. Does it answer your question, Vikas?
Yeah.
I think
Thanks.
Karan also raised his hand. Yeah, please continue.
Sorry?
Yeah, Karan has raised his hand. So Karan, you want to ask?
Oh, Karan. Yeah. Yeah, please, Karan. Yeah.
Since I'm like learning about the UX process right now, so we were learning about customer journey map. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like I am kind of confused right now. Okay, how is your customer journey map? Sorry, user journey map. I was learning about user journey map. So how is user journey map? Like, is it different, or it is same but with some added elements for the customer journey map? Like, what are
No.
the key
I
things
mean, see,
people
when
know?
I say customer and user is basically, customer a user is also customer, right? You are
exactly
a user is also using some service and product, interacting with your product, interacting with your service, purchasing the service, buying the product, and using them, right? And customer is also doing same thing. So there is no difference between customer and the user. So in the modern term, we are calling it as customer experience, customer journey. Earlier, we used to call as user journey mapping. Okay, user journey, user story. Okay, so people are calling it in a very in different names. Like you have pet names at your home. Okay, so I'm Bengali. I have three four pet names at my home. Okay, so people are calling me that X Y Z. So everything is the same, but people are calling with different names.
Essentially the fundamental is the same, but depending
Same.
on where we are applying it, it is
Correct.
tweaked a little bit according to where we are applying it.
Sure.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anyone? Okay. Okay, so this is very important screen. So I kind of minimized and simplify the process over here. The entire customer journey, like awareness, search, then research, so and then purchase. And here we are meeting the end goal of your user and the goal of your business, and the same thing is creating the experience for the user, right? So basically you are starting the customer journey from the awareness. Then once you're aware of some kind of service or the product, you start searching that product into web or mobile application or any app store or somewhere else. Then again you go into the research mode of that particular product, and after the research and the consideration, you have thought about buying something from that platform, and then you making the decision of purchase. You're placing the order, and once you get the order, it is also creating the reverse experience. Like after getting the order, after using the product, you are also going back to the application or the platform and providing the feedback, and you are becoming the advocate of that particular company, brand, or product or service, and that is actually creating the entire experience. Okay, so any question here? I guess no, right? Or maybe someone has question. Yeah, please.
Hi, Nitin. Yeah.
Hi, Nitin. Hi.
Yeah. Just a question. You said experience comes after purchase in that particular graphic. Should experience not like be part of the complete thing, starting from awareness, search, research?
Exactly. You pointed out the right things. Okay, so this is the entire process. Each process has their own experience, like how efficient your uh, platform to provide a search result to your customer. Like take an example of Google. Okay, so Google, anything you search, any type, any alphabet, okay, Google is returning some search result with your alphabets, right? So that is also creating an experience. After getting the result, you are clicking on any link, and also you are getting the drill down level of experience, like getting into a specific page, getting some knowledge, reading some articles, okay? And then inside the articles, there is also some links, and you are creating some extra, taking extra interaction on that particular page, and you are making some climax decision, which is purchase or something like that. So everything is experience, but here basis the experience, basis the all experience, what you have experienced, you will repeat the business from here. That is why I have given this arrows. I mean, I have drawn the arrow towards this way. It's a kind of repeat business, a repeat experience, right? So experience initial experience, creating the entire section, and then you are making the ultimate climax and creating the experience, getting the entire the last experience, the entire experience, and then you are again going to experience that, right? So everything has their own experience. Nitin, rightly said.
Yeah, got it, Indranil. So basically, the red triangle that we have is kind of post-purchase experience.
Yes, yes.
And then we have the cycle again starting.
Correct.
Basis
Correct.
on that, starting again with awareness,
correct.
like maybe from search or research.
Yes.
We can say.
See, now once you, I mean, I'm just taking an example, simple example of Zomato. Okay, so what I have seen is, let's take an example, like you have ordered breakfast today morning in Zomato, and again after 10 days or 15 days you are also again you are ordering the breakfast in from Zomato within the time slot of probably 8 morning 8 to kind of 11 or something like that. Okay, now you are not ordering the food from Zomato for last 1 month or maybe 2 months. Okay, but when you are trying to open the Zomato app after 2 months, okay, in the morning time slot, they will start showing the listing of restaurants which are serving the breakfast, and the restaurant which would be in the top which you have ordered in past, right? So what they have done, they got the complete cycle. They understood you, your behavior. They have created an experience for first time. Now the second time onwards and third time onwards, they have reduced the entire kind of learning curve for you. What they have done, they have created a smaller, and they have included the smartness of giving you the choice without any search, because you are opening the Zomato app in the morning session, and definitely you are in morning 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, you are not searching for the main course of the lunch, you are searching for the breakfast. And on top of that, you have ordered breakfast from some some restaurant. That restaurant is getting in the first list on their offerings, on their offering screen. So what they have done, they learned the experience, they learned your behavior, and they have created a kind of catered and tailored box for you, tailored experience for you to make your learning curve or make your research activities shorter, so that they can retain you on the application, and you can order the food within mostly 2 to 3 clicks, like selecting the same order, repeat the same order, and making the payment, and done, right? So 2-3 clicks. So they are creating that experience as well. So your initial customer journey and the repeat customer journey can be different, right, Nitin?
Got that, Indra. Yeah.
Sorry?
I got that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I think we are verging the end of the time right now. Probably this is the sample I have created. I mean, not created. So I was working in a telecom company in Zurich. Okay, sometime back 2018 and 19, I was there in Zurich, Switzerland. So I was working for Sunrise Telecommunications. So there I have worked for 5 consecutive products for that particular telecom company. I used to conduct a design thinking workshop for their products, and for every product, there were huge customer experience. But one of the customer journey I have taken out from there, and making an example for you here in this PPT slide. So where what we are doing is the process. What is the process? Okay, now first the goal. What is the goal of this Emily? So we have got the persona, human resource professional, potential buyer of Apple Watch Series 3, and the goal would be eShop I mean, that Emily needs to go to the self-care application, and she needs to go to eShop section, and the eShop section, the customer journey would be buying an Apple Watch with an add-on a SIM card, right? So for that Apple Watch, she need a SIM card to activate that Apple Watch. So that is the goal here. For that goal, we have created this customer journey. What is the process here? So these are the process: login to app, research, choose, checkout, confirmation, other details, delivery, and feedback. Then what are the actions you would take for this entire all segregated process? So that's actions are listed out over here. During the actions, during the process, what are the thinkings of the Emily? What kind of thought process she might have gone through with the process, entire process? So I have seen a social promo of Apple Watch promotion for my telecom provider. Let's take a look on that. Okay, now research. Where can I find the genuine technical and price review? So that is the kind of research she needs to do before zeroed into some kind of watch or getting into some subscription. Okay, now, so am I making the right choice? Okay, if not suits my purpose, I will return it. Hope I will get some easy EMI option in my credit card. Is there any active discount? How do I solve delivery issue if there is any, right? Reviews from others help me to choose the product and my telecom company for buying this product. I will also help others with my genuine feedback. Okay, so this is the feedback section where we are, I mean, we were discussing like advocacy, right? So now after the entire experience, Emily became the advocate of the Sunrise Telecommunication, right? So basis this all process, we have also captured the feeling in the emotion, like feeling and the emotions in the kind of line chart manner, like where Emily is getting excited or getting neutral or getting standard level of excitement or something like that. So curious and excited, hopeful, excited, nervous, confident, up and down, excited, hopeful, want to give feedback. So these are the kind of emotional site map of the entire process. Any question?
So I had one question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So if you can put back the slide.
Okay. Yeah.
So here,
I think your sound is little feeble, and can you just speak a little louder, or probably we can take the mouthpiece little closer to your mouth. Yeah.
Is this clear right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So what I wanted to ask is, so when we are making a journey map, okay. So first thing is like you have said is first, suppose the process, log into the app. So here you have written thinking, have seen a social promo of Apple and let's take a look into that. Okay. So is like how do we map this thing? I couldn't like.
Yeah. So basically, log into app meaning the you can also all self-care application has their pre-login scenario and post-login scenario. Have you seen the have you heard about this two scenarios, pre-login scenario and post-login scenario?
No, I don't know much about it.
Okay, so before getting into your bank application or before getting into your telecom self-care application, when I say getting into through credential or login ID, okay. See, Emily is already an existing customer of Sunrise Telecommunication, right? She is using the self-care app, but we need to create the customer journey map for buying an Apple Watch with an add-on SIM card, right? Because she is already with Sunrise Telecommunication, but in the eShop section, Sunrise Telecommunication is facing less user engagement and also less order from that particular application because they have invested so much of money to create this electronic shop platform, right? But instead of that, I mean, however they have created that, user, and they have seen the the substantial number of footfall in the stores, not in the e-shop. When your user actually going into shop, that means you have to keep the shop probably in every 20 kilometers diameters in the city, right? So that is kind of a huge investment. So what they are trying to do is they are trying to reduce the number of stores in the city. They are trying to increase the engagement on the e-shop platform, right? So I have seen a social promo of Apple Watch promotion from my telecom provider. Let's take a look on that. That means, so she was into Facebook or somewhere, some social media, seen that Sunrise Telecommunication is offering Apple Watch on easy EMIs, or maybe with some subscription like Young 30 or Swiss Neighbor. So those kind of subscription is there. So along with that subscription, they are also providing the Apple Watch. So what she has done, she has opened the app, okay, because she is already using the mobile application.
Right. Okay, she's already
right.
A customer. Okay, that's
already a customer.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But she has heard this about from the social network, and she logged into the system and she saw that she has Sunrise has the offer going for Apple Watch in the e-shop section, but she is also kind of researching like where can I find the genuine technical and price review, because she is already there. She is the user and the customer of that telecom company, but still she doesn't have the trust factor build that whatever my airtime provider is providing and selling, that should be okay, and that is kind of at par with the market price or something like that. But she doesn't have that kind of trust factor, but she is also trying to get the good review and the technical review and the price review from the other site as well, other area as well. So here she is doing the research.
Yeah, I got it from there. Another question that I have is like, okay, this is for the existing customer, so it makes more sense to me right now. But what if it was a new customer? Suppose it is like Adam or whatever, John Doe. So from just the login to the app part, I like from a new customer's point of view, how that would go about.
Yeah, so basically login to the app would not be there. Okay, so how what will be the journey start? The inception area for that particular John Doe who is not existing user with Sunrise Telecommunication or Airtel, right? So probably what the same thing would also appear here. Have seen a social promo, Apple Watch promotion from my telecom provider, or maybe airtime provider or Sunrise Telecommunication. Okay,
right.
Where on the somewhere in the Instagram or Facebook or any Google page or somewhere she was blogging somewhere, she saw a web part, okay, she clicked on that and she landed on the Airtel website or Sunrise website, right? Okay, now in that, after that she start researching that product in the Sunrise Telecommunication website or Airtel website.
Okay,
right? Now the it can be a phone call from the customer care from the Sunrise or the Airtel to that particular Emily,
right,
or John Doe.
Okay.
Have you also, let me know, do you also receive a random call from Vodafone and Airtel that, sir, we are providing the subscription, we are we can give you the best rate from Airtel, you can also avail this kind of facility. So those kind of campaigns you also heard from the customer care, right?
Right.
So your awareness can start from there as well.
Okay.
From the TV ads, right? Or website or social media channels, right? Can be a customer call, customer care call, ad hoc ad calls like campaign calls.
Okay. So that would be like that person who is not a customer, it would start from like discovering the product or
Correct,
discovering the
correct,
service, and
correct,
then
correct.
they will do the research and choose.
Yes,
And if they are satisfied with what they see and they like choose it, then it may be registration or login, whatever
sure.
it is.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
have the next slide, which is from the Nelson Norman. If you have this, you can search the customer journey. I mean, so we call it, we call this templates kind of, playbook. So all the framework and the templates we use in the user experience consulting domain, we call it as a playbook, right? So this is a very common terminology in customer experience. So you can find this kind of playbooks in Nelson Norman site. So this is a very basic playbook, customer journey playbook template.
Right.
Okay, so you can mention the persona, you can mention the scenario, you can mention the user expectation that like I have done, right? So this is my persona, this is my scenario, and the expectation for the user, right?
Right.
So user expectation, scenario, persona. Phase one, doing. Doing meaning action, right?
Okay.
That
Okay.
Emily is taking action. Emily is doing something.
Right.
Emily is thinking something.
Right.
Here also, Emily is thinking something.
Right.
Emily is saying something. Emily is feeling something, like, talking to yourself, right?
Okay. Okay.
Talking in your mind,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Insights and internal ownership. I mean, internal ownership meaning the who has worked on that, who has some kind of a responsibility to create the persona, create the scenario. Scenario meaning your user story, right?
Right. Right.
Your
Correct.
user epic in the sprint, design sprint.
Correct.
So you have specific design sprints. In that specific design sprints, you have also the user stories.
Right.
And
Scenario.
inside the user stories, you have some user epics, right? Okay.
Right. Okay.
So someone can work on the user story, kind of internal ownership that they can take. Someone has created the persona, someone has created the user goals, right?
Right.
Insights. So what are the insights I have taken? I mean, after looking at the journey, what are the insights? Like, I have to create a website where my product catalog should be very open and very upfront so that my user can search anything, right?
Right.
So
Right.
can be insight.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
This is where I'm ending this talk session today for customer journey. And this is me. You can follow me here in the Friends of Figma. I'm the kind of official Figma advocate in the Pune chapter. Okay, so you can search this friends.figma.com/Pune, or maybe Friends of Figma Pune. You can search. You can see me there. And this is my LinkedIn. So my name is Indranil Paul. You can also search with Indranil Paul. You can see me there in the LinkedIn. I would love to connect with you if you get connected with me here or maybe here in the LinkedIn, and we can extend our discussion offline, online, anywhere. Thank you.
Sir?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so the template which you showed, in that the things you are like doing, saying and thinking. So these parts are also covered in the empathy map.
Yes, so that is very basic. I mean, see, that is empathy. I mean, when you are in the empathy phase in the design thinking process, so you are just listening the user, like you are listening, like let me show you some empathy map I have worked on, or maybe let's. I mean, I have to search for that, but that's okay. So we can discuss. Yeah. So that is when you are not stating any problem statement, right? So you are just listening the problems from the user, right? In the empathy phase, you are not into situation where you can create any, or you can confirm any problem statement. In the empathy phase, we are just listening to the customer. We are just sharing our shoulder to cry, right? Okay, in the empathy phase. In that also, yeah, doing, thinking, saying, and action, we are also getting, that's a kind of mental model of your user we are creating there. Yeah. See, that is why actually Nelson Norman here named as doing thinking, saying mostly if you search customer journey in the web, you can see most of the people and most of the good sites and the blogs, they are using like action, process, action, thinking and feeling. Okay, so this is the kind of awareness, search, research and purchase and experience. Like awareness, search is the kind of doing, again the action is research, and again purchase is research. Okay, so basically this is a standard template you can follow. Basis on your project, basis the complexity of your project, basis the complexity of your user story, you can create your own template. Okay, that you can also use, you can also add one more level up, where like someone is searching that, okay, during the research section, someone is providing the email ID, I can save that email ID to my CRM, right?
Yes.
So that can be a level up customer journey. I'm also creating one level up customer journey where I am getting the customer behavior nudges and also customer important details, customer details, like email ID, mobile number, credit card numbers, or something like some customer address. We are saving those things also in our CRM. Okay, and also in our database, where we can pull those database as and when required, right? Okay, so that is also can be included in your customer journey. Like how you are also mapping your technology background, technology process, technical background process with your customer process, customer journey process. So it's it's not a thumb rule that someone will kill you if you are not following this template. It is up to you. You can create your own template. You can create your own process, and not process. Can template to consider few extra insights, consider few extra attributes to your journey mapping, right? Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please. No one is sir here. My name is Indranil.
Sir, I'm actually a second year UX student currently
That's
studying.
Okay.
So I had one doubt. How can we address brands competitors using customer journey mapping? So how can we include a compare stage wherein we can get insights with how people are going through our brand, or how they are meeting up with our competitors in the
Very
same.
good question. Very good question. Awesome. So this is, have you heard about competitive analysis?
No, sir, not actually.
Okay, so you need to go back and you have to do some research about the competitive analysis, where the competitive analysis, what we do is, we analyze the other platforms in the same product area or the same service area, okay, and how they are serving their customers, what is their customer base, and what kind of features they have, how those features are serving that particular interaction. Like Amazon and Flipkart. Okay, so let's get back to the Amazon and Flipkart. So now if you have to create a very good customer journey, which Amazon has already done and Flipkart has already done some customer journey, now on top of that, someone has assigned you to create one more retail channel, which will be more amazing and more useful and equitable than Amazon and Flipkart. Now what you have to do then? Then you have to do whether are you going to reinvent the wheel? No, you are not going to reinvent the wheel. So what you have to do is you have to understand the market, why you are going to create another retail channel, right? When we have two big giants in the India, probably Walmart is also coming for this kind of scenario. Okay, now we have Amazon, we have Flipkart. So why there is a need for one more creating one more retail channel, right? So first we need to understand that. Then how I'm going to make it different from what Amazon is doing or Flipkart is doing, right? So for that, you need to analyze these two platforms, because you are going to create one more platform in the same business area, right? Same business area, same service area.
Yes.
Servicing the demand and supply chain. Okay, providing the demand and supplying. Getting the demand and providing the supply with some kind of profit margin or something like that. Okay, so you are going to build that again one more channel. So you have to create a competitive analysis between these two to understand what kind of features are there, what kind of service are they going to provide. Okay, they are providing, what kind of customer journey and the experience they are following for this kind of products. Okay, can you just tell me two different things or two similar things what Amazon and Flipkart is doing?
They are basically into e-commerce sector, and they are concentrating on shoppings and goods, clothing and accessories. So I guess this
Okay. Now, how different these two channels when you are looking at the filters? You are searching one product and you are browsing through the filters in Amazon and Flipkart. Is there any difference you have noticed?
Yes, sir. So Amazon basically has a shop by category and very different features according to color and then popularity, hierarchy. And even Flipkart has those, but some are up and downs over there.
But both are same, right? So they have the same features, right? Now you have to also include the same features in your new application. Now, how you are going to make it more useful and pleasing for your user? So for that, you have to know both this platform. You have to create one competitive analysis. I want to share one thing. Okay, so I created something for I'll just give me a moment. I hope you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So can you see this screen, mobile app competitive analysis?
Yes.
So what I have done, the banking application, okay, so HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and Axis Bank, right? I have taken the example of three bank which is available in India, right? Okay, and I have done the competitive analysis basis these parameters. This is attributes. How easy to learn this application for the user, right? How efficient this application to provide the end result or the desired task to become which all our user going to take in the application, right? What is the efficiency that these applications have to help the user to get this task done, get those tasks done, right? Now, consistency and standards, how consistent this application internally, so that user can understand this is the pattern of fund transfer, this is the pattern of adding the beneficiary, this is the pattern of getting the money, receiving the money, this is the pattern of how after transferring the fund, post transfer fund, I would get this kind of SMS or this kind of confirmation from my bank. So are those channels, are those ways are consistent throughout the applications? And how consistent between how the standard of consistency between these applications, right? Error prevention, how application is efficient to prevent my error, human error, right? Okay, so basis the error prevention, I have decided the analysis these three applications. Satisfaction, lastly satisfaction, customer satisfaction. how the customer is satisfied about this banking applications, right?
Yes.
So you need to understand the competitive analysis. So that was your question, right? So how you are going to analyze the competitive analysis about these applications? Yeah. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. I'm clear.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this question. Okay, I think we have crossed the.
Yeah, definitely. I think today's session was very interactive, and thanks, Indranil, for your time. And I think hope participants are also enjoyed this session. Definitely, this is a huge topic, and as we are discussing yesterday, we can come up with some program kind of activity for our design community. So hopefully this let's lockdown and everything gets resolved and we can come up with something definitely because this is a huge topic. There are a lot of angles to this. There is a still confusion between CX and UX, and just going listening few questions also. So definitely there is a scope of work and we can contribute somewhere to learners definitely. And thanks once again for your time. Priyanka, you can.
No worries, absolutely, anytime. Thank you so much. I think we can call it a day right now today.
Sure, definitely.
And hopefully we will look forward for the again with a good session with your community. Tushar, thank you so much. Thank you.
Priyanka, you can just.
Yeah. Thanks, Indranil. It was a very insightful session, and I mean, by the questions, I can see that everybody really liked and were involved in the session. Thanks everyone for joining us today. And also, I would like to announce our next talk, which is going to be on the 6th of June. And Mr. Yael Gareen, who is the country head of Eco Intuit Lab, and he's going to be he's going to be talking about how to start your career in UX and UI. So if you guys, any of you is still in the transition phase, or even if you are a UXer, and if you know somebody who wants to transition their path into the UX field or UI field, you should let them know. All the details are available on our website and all our social media handle. Please follow us, and I hope I'll get to see you all over there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye bye.
Stay safe.
Take care.
Have a nice. Bye. Good night.
Bye.